You meditate, you journal, you actually hydrate, you work out, right? And you do all these things that feel, do, look like, and are literal checklists. But what you are missing is the process to healing. You're trying to figure out, I do all these things and they don't add up, right? They don't make me really feel better because you're not making a real transformation. So, I'm Angie, your favorite journaling mentor. And in this video, we're going to talk about a methodology that aids in moving the needle to healing through journaling. Ever try writing with your non dominant hand and you feel like you starting your alphabets all over again? Like A, B, C. It feels funny. It looks funny. It's all shaky and it's weird, right? But there is an actual process that incorporates you writing with your non-dominant hand. It's a journaling process that kind of heals you along the way, and most people don't even know that it exists. This is a book I found, a 1970s book, and I want to talk about it in this video because I think it's important that we utilize methods like this to make journaling more impactful in our lives. There's this book that Dr. Lucia wrote in the 1970s called Writing with Your Other Hand. So she wrote the book in the process of discovering that she had to start using her non dominant hand. And in that, she unlocked so many things trauma, she unlocked some inner childhood discoveries that she discovered. She began to combine art therapy with the therapy of journaling. And so, in this, while she was in her pain, she discovered that this method of writing with your non dominant hand healed her faster than it did without her using the process, right? So she discovered in her healing journey that writing with her non dominant hand was unlocking things that she hadn't talked about, hadn't even realized that were buried issues until she started writing like this on a regular basis. It's had become kind of a natural conformity of her life. And so we're going to talk about a few different things that aid in why this works. So the non-dominant hand is directly associated with your emotions. It retrieves those emotions. And now we're talking about childhood emotions, right? So this was one of the things that she discovered. Our non-dominant hand activates our memory, our emotions, our childhood suppressed issues that we think are, it's okay and everything's dandy until something triggers it, right? Someone dies, someone says something that, a smell comes into place and you're like, whoa, now you're having a anxiety attack and every other thing, right? So in the whole process, between 30 to 50% of healing actually was like, I wouldn't say fast forwarded, but it was fast tracked in their healing journey because they incorporated this into regular journaling style. So with the regular, let me process my emotions, but now processing their emotions with their non-dominant hand actually helped them heal faster. And not only did they heal faster, but it started to kick in 10 minutes after starting the process. So when she's um, overviewing her students, she was discovering that within 10 minutes of them writing with their non-dominant hand, they're getting aha moments. Like, I don't think you can't get nothing faster than an aha moment in 10 minutes. An example of how you would kind of apply this without having like instructional or even going to get the book would be, for example, what do you need from me right now? So that's what you're writing with your dominant hand. And then you would answer with your left hand, or with me, it would be left hand. I keep saying left, but it would be my left hand because my dominant is right. So you ask the question with your right hand as you're writing it down, and then you answer it. Another example would be, what's one small thing that I can do today that would make me feel better? And then you're literally pulling from your left hand and having to work that part of your brain, and you're answering it. And then you take a moment and look at your answer. So looking at your answer is a little different than you would normally write with your dominant hand, because your dominant hand is free thoughts. It's more not You're not pulling from a place. Most of the time, you're pulling from the surface. But right now, you would have to dig a little deeper to find out how do I answer this with my non-dominant hand? And what they were discovering, or what it brings up and discovers, is hidden messages, unforgiveness, grief. Sometimes resentment even comes up because it's buried under a few layers of surface. We're doing something that requires you to think a little bit harder because it's not familiar to you. It's not an autopilot type of writing skill. So, this journaling method kind of allows you to do more than just your surface self care. If you know me, you know that self care is really big for me, but not just get my nails done, get my hair done type of self care. But this methodology ties into allowing yourself to really go in deep, to go into another level of discovering what kind of grief or trauma or unresolved issues that are kind of buried a few layers deep that you may have suppressed unconsciously over the years, right? Our parents do us wrong. They didn't give us the chocolate when we were 7, so now we feel abandoned. And sometimes it's just that simple. But you're a 7-year-old. You didn't know that that was going to leave a scar on you. You just knew that it hurt really, really bad because you were used to getting everything. Or where something actually happened where the trauma was literally wiped from your, I wouldn't say visible brain, but you cannot remember it. I've had instances being prior military where it was so traumatic what I've saw, what I've heard, that if you ask me now, I still can't recall it. It just won't come up. You say, what happened in such and such date? And I'm like, I don't know. And it's not like I'm lying. I really don't know. And so you're allowing yourself to kind of pull from those spaces. And now what's left up to you to do is to figure out how to solve them. So now we're going to do the process of, what does it look like to heal from what just came up? What does it look like to get that answer for what just came up? Your non-dominant answered it. So are you going to call the person? Are you going to write the grief letter? Are you going to go take the drive and see the loved one so that you won't have regret? Like, what are you going to do to now truly take care of yourself? I know sometimes it can get surface, but this is an opportunity for you to pause and really take this activity serious. So I know we've talked for the last umpteen amount of minutes, right, about learning and applying a new way of journaling. And this is just scratching the surface. We can go deep. We'll probably do a couple videos that kind of break this down, and maybe we'll do it together. But being able to take a new method that you've learned and applying it. Like, sometimes you just don't want to do it alone. And if you don't want to do it alone, I actually have a group, um, journaling with me. But we journal twice a day. We have prompts. But then if you're like more biblical based, we have a couple other things. But all of that being said, you have an opportunity to seize the day. You have an opportunity to not just say, I don't have time to journal, because this stuff takes like 15 minutes. Like, in reality, it does not take all day. 1% of your day it takes to apply a method that your future self will thank you later for. Your future self will say, I'm so glad that you took the time to pour into me. So I am huge on Friends Don't Let Friends Journal Alone. And we have met today. Hopefully you liked and shared and subscribed. But I want you to know that this method is just one of the many ways that you can begin your self-care, real life healing journey. It doesn't have to be scary. You don't have to do it alone either. So make sure that you join the community and you like and share.